Today's video is going to touch on Romania, specifically Cold War, Communist, Soviet era Romania. So we've had some videos on Romania so far. I believe I had a video maybe on my Takarov, and I definitely had a video tabletop review as well as a shooting review of a Pioneer, the Pioneer's Boy Scout, basically, training cadet rifle. What we have today is Romanian made model 1969 or M69 training rifle. So this rifle was designed around 1968. It was a copy of a Bruno Czech-built Model 1 training rifle. So it takes its cues from the Mosin Nagant and the Mauser 98 action. Up front you have a Mosin-like front sight. The stock looks a lot like a Mauser, just does not have a top handguard. Looks like a sporterized Mauser. So basically, Romania needed a rifle to train its home guards, basically. They were under Soviet control. They witnessed the Soviet Union invade Czechoslovakia, and they wanted to avoid, I'm going to do a wide angle view here. They wanted to avoid invasion. Even though they were in a pact, it was, well, we went over this before. A lot of the Soviet countries were under Soviet control, not by choice as much as by force. So they wanted to train their soldiers. Well, they wanted to train cadets, people that were joining basically what we would call militias, territorial militias, in the event that the Soviet Union invaded. So this is what they came up with. 5-round detachable magazine. You see the cutout for the bolt like a Mauser. You see the front cutout like a Mauser. Here's some factory markings, some stampings. I don't know if these are made in the Kruger factory or not, but they were definitely made in Romania. The cool thing about mine is there's no import marks. It's all original. It's in very good condition. I'll show you some of the markings up here. It's in 1978. That may be a model number. I don't know what that is. So the rear sight's very interesting. It's marked 25 yards right there. Then you flip it up, which is not so easy to do. It has 25 yards, 50 yards, and 100 yards. But it's a little sticky. There you go. There's the 50 yards and the 25 yards. So the rifle's in great shape. We went over the history of it. It's a training rifle for training new recruits and cadets, people that were going to join the military or territorial militias in defense of homeland Romania. This rifle was in .22, long rifle. It was built from 1968 until 1989, when the Soviet Union completely collapsed and Romania became independent. They no longer had to arm the civilian population, so they did not have to continue making the M69, and production halted in 1989. So here it is. I picked it up today. I have yet to take it out, but my goal will be to have this out next week, and hopefully I can post the shooting video. Okay, guys, a couple days away from Christmas, in the middle of Hanukkah as we speak. I hope everybody enjoys their holidays. And until next time. Alright guys, we're outside here. We're just going to function test my 1978 Romanian Model 69. Well, not so good so far, but part of that's because we're using the quiets. The quiets don't feed as well. So, here we go. There's one shot. Yeah, it will not feed the quiets. We can hand feed them. Let's see. Yeah, it will not feed the quiets. They're a little bit shorter than a regular round. It just won't do it. We can single feed them. And the gun functions. You hear it. Here, we're going to hear it again. The ejector works. It ejects them. Just won't feed them. So there you go, guys. 1978 M69. We'll wrap up with my final thoughts on it. So what do I think? Well, my specific rifle didn't work 100%. I have extra parts coming. I have what do I have coming? So I bought the rifle knowing that this bolt had been replaced. That holds the action in perfectly because the original owner lost the bolt, so he put a wing nut in there, which is cool because you could take the gun apart without tools almost. But I did order spare springs, spare bolts, spare pins, anything I thought could have broke or would have broke, I ordered. So it looks like I may need to do a little home gunsmithing, but the gun works. We saw that in the video, it goes bang. The issues I had was every now and again when you'd rip the bolt back, the bolt would come right out of the gun. So you'd shoot, you'd go to eject, and if you ripped it back hard, the bolt would come out of the gun. Now, if you went slow and you didn't rip it hard, the bolt would not come out of the gun and it would eject. But either way, it would eject the shell. That was one issue. Second issue was feeding issues, but I don't believe that was the rifle. I think it's more likely the quiets. If you've ever used the no non-gunpowder primer-only bullets, they're a lot shorter than the regular long rifles, and they don't feed in a lot of guns. I know I had a 10-22, the same problem. They wouldn't feed out of the magazine consistently, and I had to finger feed them straight into the chamber. So I do kind of think that's what we're dealing with. So what do I think about it? I think it's a very crude built rifle. I think it's a piece of living history. I think Romania made fine weapons, but definitely crude weapons. Just in case you guys are wondering, you didn't see this video, maybe you're just passing by. This is my 1974 Pioneer training rifle, which would have been Romania's equivalent to the Boy Scouts here. So that's what that is, with its big light stock set. I think it's classic Com Block, Eastern Bloc, Soviet engineering. A robust, heavily built rifle. Crude, simple. The sights are simple. They just flip up and down. Adjusting the yardage is simple. The stock is made of mystery wood. The metal's not finely done. You see different approval marks and arsenal marks and whatnot. But it's a piece of Cold War history. A very interesting one too. And this stuff is not getting any easier to find. So that's my final thought. With a little bit of TLC, I'll have a fine shooting rifle and a piece of living Cold War history. Okay guys, this wraps up the video on the Romanian model 1969 training rifle.